But going on to now, same sport, but over to the men's side. Let's talk Copa America.
Where do you want to really start with this?
Um, Copa America, we've had some funny moments, some serious moments, and we have Messi winning another trophy.
Yeah.
Uh, to the funny, in the Argentina versus Canada match, Drake placed a $300,000 bet on Canada to beat Argentina. And after Argentina won, the official account of the Argentine national team played Kendrick Lamar's Not
Yeah.
Like Us on Instagram while posting this picture here, which we don't have Tushka here, so. And it shows.
Once we get live in color, here we are.
Love
Here's come
it.
the picture.
So over here on the left, you got Drake's bet.
Yep.
It's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And over here you got.
Yeah. Yeah. Just Drake is just catching L's left and right, man. I'm not crying about it. I enjoy some of his music, but dude is just catching L's. And I think after Kendrick Lamar's like sixth diss track, you realize why J. Cole was like, "I'm out, I'm good."
Yeah, J. Cole was the smart one. He was just like, you know what? It didn't sit right with me. I'm sorry. I'm getting out of this.
Yeah.
And Drake was like, nah, I'm gonna continue.
Shouldn't have.
Should not have. And we're not going to talk about it today, but ESPYs, even Serena was going after him. So, uh, yeah, it kind of makes you feel a little bad for Drake. It's like, oh, poor thing. Like, he's getting it from every direction. The Argentine national team is saying, not like us.
He's gonna be. Drake's gonna be fine, guys.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
he'll be fine.
I mean, he has that much money to be able
Yeah,
to bet on a soccer game, so he's good.
he's fine. He's gonna be fine. This will blow over. He'll always remember as the person who took the L to Kendrick Lamar. But everyone could have saw that coming from a mile away. But this isn't a music. This isn't a music show. So let's rev it up. Talk about the other part of the Copa that is not too fun.
Yeah, to the serious. Uh, in the Colombia versus Uruguay match, allegedly, and using these words for legal purposes, Colombian fans attacked some family members from the Uruguayan team, and those players went into the stands to fight the fans. We're not going to show the videos for this, but if you are curious, there's plenty of videos online. To spare Josh and the audience, there's a video of one of the players being interviewed in Spanish after the match, talking about the lack of security, calling it a disaster, and blaming fans for getting too drunk and riled up. Many pundits and people who have attended Copa America games have said there has been a lack of security, and since Copa America is run by CONMEBOL, the South American Confederation, the security in the stadiums fall under the hands of them, and it allegedly has been lacking. There's also a video of Darwin Nunez holding his terrified son in his arms, and Darwin himself looked shaken up. It goes without saying that attacking someone at a game is never acceptable, but especially don't attack the players' families. So, Josh, before we go into a little bit more serious thoughts on this part.
I think it kind of bleeds into what happened at the final. But just on this moment, this is the first time it reminded me of like the Malice in the Palace. For those who don't know, it's a game between the Pacers and the Pistons. And Ron Artest, now Meta World Peace, was laying. It got scrappy. Yeah, stuff happens during the game. But as he was laying on the announce table and stuff like that, a random rogue cup came from out of nowhere, hit him in the head, and then he just starts going up into the stands and swinging on fans. Now, was this what happened here? No, but this is about as close as we had to it. And the fact that fans are throwing chairs at him and stuff like that, I'm just like, where are we at? Like, it didn't make any sense. I mean, and then of course the kids were involved, And I just think this, and especially what happened the next game, was just even we're going to have a World Cup,
Yeah.
and now and people were trying to throw is like there wasn't enough security, stuff like that, and you're saying that it fell on the organization, not the stadium itself.
Yeah.
It became on that and their security measures, and I would think the World Cup was going to be a little bit better than that, but
Yeah. And with that, and we'll speak more on that, this is a CONMEBOL thing. And the security, even they in 2016 we hosted the Copa America in the United States, and CONCACAF had more responsibility
mhm,
in that, and this did not happen at all. And CONMEBOL came to CONCACAF because we're hosting and said, we want more responsibility because this is our confederation's cup. Like, even though you guys are hosting, like, this is ours. Like, give a, because they wanted more of the money, they wanted more of and we've just been proven that you cannot give them full control.
mhm.
Um, but to continue with the series, several hours before the final match between Argentina and Colombia, there was a major security breach at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. Uh, Below, I'm going to leave a video from a tactical manager who was at the game with the disaster that happened that caused the game to be delayed over an hour. Um, Main points I want to make, as we were just making here, as I did with the Colombia and Uruguay match, CONMEBOL has full control over this tournament and they have full responsibility for security and how things are run. Speaking for Hard Rock Stadium, because like I live here in Miami, it's hosted Super Bowls, college games, concerts, etc. And the scenes that were shown before the game have never happened at Hard Rock or even back when it was called Joe Robbie. What has been reported is that several fans without tickets breached the gates and security then closed the gates, not allowing people in. Much like infamous soccer riots of the past, that led to major casualties, which thankfully there weren't any
Yeah,
from this event. Fans coming from the parking lot were pushing forward, and there were so much overcrowding that security had to reopen the gates to prevent a bigger tragedy,
right.
because we've seen that happening before where gates are closed, bodies are going against the gate, that
Mhm.
causes a bigger tragedy. So to avoid that, they reopened the gates, and many people who did not have tickets ended up in the stadium. There are videos of people climbing over the gates, trying to sneak in through the vents. Um, that the stadium was over capacity, and many fans who paid thousands of dollars for their tickets were not allowed into the stadium due to overcapacity. There are people who have spoke to news anchors on TV speaking about the money they spent to get to this match, and many people ended up just going back home or going to their hotels. Um, when people with tickets went to their seats, there were people already in them, and when they tried to get help from the ushers, they were told there's nothing that they could do. And which understandably they were overwhelmed. There was a lot of
Right.
people, but still, you go to an usher and say, "Someone's in my seat," and they go, "That's kind of shitty." There are photos of the stands where you can see the step where you can't see the steps because people are standing, sitting, and the stadium was way overcrowded. Eventually, throughout the game, police escorted people without tickets from their seats, but this was like 20, 30 minutes into the game. And they had to go row by row, like, show me your ticket. So that takes a long time with a giant stadium like Hard Rock. Uh, in all honesty, they should have canceled the game and rescheduled it due to fan safety, but CONMEBOL, like most soccer federations, care more about money than they do about the safety of their fans. It has been reported that allegedly, when doing the budget for this tournament, they gave less to security than in the past because they assumed they wouldn't need it because this is the US and this isn't South America. Uh, that was proven not to be the case.
Correct.
Another thing to note, you also have opposing teams sitting next to each other, which if you watch the Euros, that's not happening. You watch any other uh, Copa America, opposing teams' fans do not sit next to each other. There's even like when Brazil and Argentina play, there's a full row of cops in between the side that's Argentina and the side that's Brazil. So that did not exist. You pan over the crowd, and there's a Colombian sitting next to an Argentinian, sitting next to another Argentinian, sitting next to a Colombian, like, which you just don't see in these kinds of tournaments. And before we paint South American fans in a bad light, football fans around the world will do anything to see their teams, whether that's right, wrong, or right. It's not for me to judge. Um, There have been some low key racist things said online, mostly coming from Europeans, mostly coming from English fans. And English fans have zero room to talk based on the way they behave and what they do, both in the EPL, the championship, and when England play.
No, soccer hooligans only exist in Canada, guys. Okay, not in Europe or England.
Yeah. So, Josh, what were your thoughts when you were seeing all of this madness before the game?
The air duct was the kicker for me.
Yeah.
The scene of them just sitting there, and to quote, I think it was Dan Big Cat Cats. I was listening to him talk about. He goes, "This is just making it kind of a jokey of a crazy situation. This is why America will never be good at soccer, because we're just not this serious about it." Okay. So I thought that was kind of funny, but also too, it did come out, I think, about an hour ago that the Colombian Federation president
Yeah.
has been arrested along with 27 other people. Now, I don't know if that has to do with that organization itself. I just saw the headline. Okay, so
Yeah.
don't super quote me on it, but it's more of the, well, but it's like, does it really fall? How much responsibility does it really fall on the Colombian Federation president, unless they figured out that he was the reason that he said everyone just go, type of
Yeah,
thing.
and that wouldn't be on him. That would be on CONMEBOL. I
That'll become
really
a ball.
don't. Yeah, I don't. I saw that he was arrested before going live, and I was like, I wonder if he would got into a fight with someone, or he,
Yeah.
like, because that's my only assumption, because he doesn't really have his responsibility is the safety of his team,
Right.
not really the safety of the event,
Yeah. So
because CONMEBOL's putting on the event. And again, this is a stadium that's had Taylor Swift, that's had Beyonce, that's had multiple Super Bowls. Like, this doesn't happen here.
right. I mean, no. And I mean that's your stadium. That's your home stadium, and
Yeah.
it stinks, like that shot of that escalator. It was torn to pieces,
Yeah.
and just stuff like that. And it's just like it's just sad on that. It's just like, we're here to enjoy a game. Yes, we want our team to win, and yes, it's maybe a once in a lifetime thing. But there is rules and regulations, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, yes, the tickets are extremely high, but that's because everyone wants to go. And if you couldn't get a ticket, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, that's just the way that's how the cookie crumbles in this situation.
Yeah.
And you just unfortunately have greedy people who don't like infrastructure and logistics
And with
that's
me,
involved.
thank God nothing serious happened.
Right. No.
But the fact that they opened the gates and literally anyone was able to come into that stadium without being checked for
Right.
what's on their person. Someone brought their dog. Like, there was video of like someone with their dog. So, this could have been so much worse.
Yeah, it could have been so much worse. This was like Black Friday times 100.
Yes.
Type of thing, because it's in one. Black Friday happens all over the country, and it's obviously died down now because of how the internet's taken
The
over as far
internet.
as
Yeah.
how you shop. But this was the first time where you saw, like, they either like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Okay, do just let everyone stay outside and then just crush each other, which has happened at what was the Travis Scott concert where people were being crushed and actually people died.
Or Liverpool fans.
Right. Or Liverpool fans. Or do you just say, let's roll the dice, let them in, and then just figure it out from there?
Yeah.
I just, you are understaffed, overwhelmed, and this is what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. This is the only time I've ever remembered this type of stuff happening.
Yeah.
Because I really don't keep up with the Premier. I don't keep up with the Premier League or overseas when it could get crazy.
I hope that that there's videos too. People were just like, English fans, is this you during this Euros? Like
Right.
trashing the street. But I like to believe that it will be better during the World Cup because FIFA, as corrupt as it is, they're very good at putting on a show. And they know how to budget an event. So I feel like that's going to be better during, especially because I think like the venues themselves will have more power over the event than this Copa America. Because like the Uruguay Colombia thing that happened in Charlotte. So like, do you see that kind of shit happening in Charlotte, North Carolina? Like
they give tickets away to Carolina Panther games.
Like
kind of, I was like trying to refrain, was biting my tongue, being like, we've had multiple NFL games. I'm like, yeah, but there's not a lot of people at the Miami
Miami Dolphins, yes.
Not the U though.
Not the U.
No.
But let's go to the actual soccer of it all, because the match was fun, even though it was 0-0 in the first 90 minutes of the game. It was a fun match to watch. It's basically seeing two great teams battle it out against each other. And sadly, for all Messi fans, for all Inter Miami fans, we have an injured Messi, and it's non-contact. It's not good.
Not good.
Let's watch this and be sad. No contact, goes to the ground.
Injury. But he is
and Messi stays on the ground. And he's not one of those players that stays on the ground and tries to milk it. It's just, it's not good. And the part that really got me is they showed Messi sitting in on the sidelines multiple times, and he was just fully in tears, which we have sad Messi here.
Oh man, you hate to see that, really.
And this could be his last major tournament with Argentina. He went out of the game like that, so he's not able to help affect his team. And just too, he's probably in a lot of freaking pain because look at how swollen his ankle got.
Damn.
Is anybody going to look how swollen that right ankle of Lionel Messi is there? Wow. So is anybody
Jesus
Christ. Oh my God, look at that.
That's a grapefruit of an ankle. Like, it's just nuts.
Yeah.
I'd say he's hurt.
I would agree. And unlike previous games in Copa America, they went straight to penalties. The final had an extra time, the 2 15-minute halves, and that's where Lautaro Martinez scores in the 112th minute. So let's watch that. You gotta share your screen, Josh.
It sounded good on my headphones. I have to do that part, guys. Sounding good on my headphones. So here he comes again. You're good. I'm going to hear it twice.
Very wet grass. Lo Celso, Lautaro Martinez, Lautaro Martinez!
Jumps over, runs. And also, we don't have the video here, but go watch Messi on his swollen ass ankle being so excited when this goal went in.
Lo Celso.
Yeah. And it's in the 100, extra time. So
Yeah.
super crazy there.
And let's see. Argentina, they end up winning. Colombia, their first loss in 2 years.
Only 2.
But Argentina lifts the Copa.
Every bit of their roster, and they will celebrate this as a collective. They will celebrate this as a country. Third consecutive time they come to a tournament and win it. Argentina, champions of the Copa America.
They win Copa America, they win the World Cup, and they win Copa America again. And Messi's like, I will jump the cup, but I'm not jumping myself.
Right.
Angel Di Maria right there. This is his last game with Argentina. He decided he's retiring after this Copa America. See you in Miami, Angel. Well, Fort Lauderdale. If you know, you know.
Hey, that tournament went basically like I thought. Argentina was going to win. I didn't think. And then when you said that Colombia hadn't lost a game since like the Reagan era or whatever I said when we first started, I was like, oh, okay. But it's weird seeing Brazil not that Brazil team that we saw in the years past. That's the oddest thing that I took away from this tournament. Is that Colombia's for real. That there's a reason they hadn't lost, but Brazil just doesn't have that extra gear that they used to.
But for Brazil, they have Endrick, and he's gonna be formidable. He's only 18 right now, so like he's the future. So, but we have here Emi Martinez, won best goalkeeper. Over here is James Rodriguez. He won best player of the tournament. And then over here we have Lautaro Martinez, the game winner. He won the Golden Boot for this tournament. So I thought I was sharing my screen, and I was not.
Hey, you know what? It sounded good in my brain of where those players were that you were looking at.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had this is what happens when the slides thing doesn't work on StreamYard.
Yeah,
so
this is StreamYard. So guys, it's not us. It's the fact that the StreamYard thing just wasn't working.
And then also Fox did a graphic for Debu and did not do a graphic for James. Didn't do a graphic for Lautaro Martinez. Like, what's up with that?
I don't know.
What you doing?
But congratulations to Argentina.
Argentina.